Good morning. It is what they call burr chilly this morning, but we have got our framing material. Now, I still don't have power here, and I do have a way to get power from my truck, but my truck is currently in the shop, so I don't think we're ready to start framing quite yet, but we can prep for it. So in order for me to get power back onto this house, or rather all the utilities, I first need to get everything made safe. Now, a buddy of mine is gonna help me with the electrical, but what I'm gonna do this morning is I need to go and find all the spots where gas hooks up. I need to pull out the old hoses, and I need to put a cap on this. So that way, even if the valves are closed, there's absolutely no chance of leaking. And that is how I'm gonna pass inspection, so then I can get the utility company to turn the gas back on and get the power turned back on. Now, most of the gas work is down here in the basement, and it's super dark down here because I didn't do these windows yet. So I think I'm gonna hit a couple of those real quick, let some light down here, then we'll start pulling out some gas pipe. Green bit from GRK, that means it's a T25. And if you haven't used construction screws before, T25 is gonna become your new best friend. And if none of that made any sense to you whatsoever, don't worry about it, just enjoy the ride. Whoa. Ow. Look at that, what a beaut. Absolute beauty of a window. I'm gonna see if I can't get this guy all the way out. Okay, so far so good. The odds of me not shattering a window are extremely low. Come on, window. Okay, no one's seriously hurt yet. Okay, this is kind of weird. Look what I found in here. I don't really know what these are. They look like blades, some kind of like big machine. Interesting. Tweakers, man. Man, what a pain in the butt. But there's only one window left. Well, except for a small one that I'm just choosing to ignore that it exists because I don't want it to be true. Let's see how this one goes. I was hoping I wouldn't have to go on the other side and unscrew that plywood, but I will, but don't worry, I'll bring you with me. Alrighty here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now we can plastic them up. Fortunately for me and for you, watching purposes, all three of those windows downstairs are the same size. So I'm just gonna make all the plastic frames right up here at the same time, and then I'll bring them down and install them. It'll be quicker. You won't have to watch the boring stuff so much. That is much better in terms of lighting down here. So now let me show you what I'm gonna do with these gas lines. So I kind of briefly mentioned it upstairs. Basically anywhere like here that there's a spot where a line was cut. I just need to pull that off and cap it. So I'm gonna pull off all the pieces now, and then I'll run to Home Depot and grab some caps. But while I'm messing with the gas lines, here's what I'm gonna do. Let me show you my plan upstairs. All right, so in the floor below me, I've got a gas line running this way, and it supplies this fireplace. But if you remember what I said yesterday, I'm probably going to delete this fireplace, and I'm actually gonna delete this whole wall. And here's kind of what our vision is looking like for that. Probably about a foot above these window headers, I'm gonna put a big header all the way across the same width. Then I'm gonna take out everything below that, and then I'm gonna push it back about 2 feet, and I'm gonna have this sort of like setback in there. And I think we're gonna do sort of a shallow arch all the way across, just to give it kind of a cool look. That's probably where we're gonna put the TV stand, maybe some chairs, maybe some built-in bookshelf, something like that. But anyways, because I'm gonna be doing that, I'm gonna need to remove all this stuff, which I'll probably do after I cap the gas line stuff today. And that means this gas line is gonna be practically useless. So since I'm messing with the gas anyways, I'm just gonna pull that out. I'm gonna run a new gas line into the garage, so that way someday when we have like our home gym set up in there, we can have a heater, so if it's chilly in the winter, we can pop the heater on and it'll heat it up in just a couple minutes. So anyways, let's make our list of how many gas caps we need and what size and whatnot, and then we will go from there. All right, so here's one. Looks like I can just get, I feel like a plug would be best. I don't really know, but I guess we'll figure it out. Now this whole thing is deleting from this point right here. So I'll switch that into an elbow, because this is going towards the fireplace, but this is going towards the gas stove, and we actually want to keep the gas stove because we really like having an open flame to cook on. So we'll get a 1" 90, or maybe that's 3/4, I don't even know, but I'll be able to tell the size when I see it at Home Depot. 1/2" plug, 1/2" plug up top, and then I think since we're capping this, we should be fine. So now we can run to Home Depot. I'll pick that up. Got some Home Depot gift cards I can use, which will be nice. I need to grab some sealant for the gas pipe and probably a big wrench and maybe another pipe wrench, just to be safe. I really don't want this to be loose, so let's do it. Alrighty, got my pipe wrench, regular wrench, a few plugs, a 90, and some pipe dope, which will keep the gas line sealed up, because the last thing we want to do is turn our house into a crater. And fortunately for us, we pump our houses full of gas and electricity and fire in contained places and all sorts of good stuff. That makes that a possibility, but this little toothpaste tube right here will keep that from happening. So let's get right to it. So fun fact, see how there's this giant wire coming into this plug here? What that shows me is that this used to be wired for an electric range, and then they rewired it to be a gas and then ran the gas line. The reason for that is if you have an electric stove, you're gonna need to run 220 power, which needs a bigger cord like that. But when they switched it to be 120, what you can do is you can take the extra hot legs from the 220 power and you can just separate them into multiple outlets. So now we have 4 plugs for 1 cord, but the electric only needs 120. So anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's just a fun fact for you there. So let's see here. Pull this out. Get my pipe thread sealant. Do not let this get on your clothes. It will ruin it incredibly fast and you will be sad. Speaking from experience. I did the same thing at my house before this as these people did here. I switched out my electric range for a gas range. I also did the same thing with my dryer. I ran a gas line to our dryer, or rather to our laundry room. We had already a 120 plug in the washer room because the washer only used 120, so it worked out. And then now we just have a random 220 plug sitting in the laundry room. Plenty tight enough there. On to the next. Perfect. These are now nice and sealed, and I think we're ready to start pulling out the big gas line. So the tricky part with removing gas pipe is you kind of need to remove it piece by piece. So I need to start up at the top over there, then I can work my way down, disassembling all the pieces. All right, so I was getting ready to disconnect this gas line when I heard a friendly voice out front, which was none other than Kathleen, the tweaker, only this time she also brought Jonathan, who's the previous owner of this house. But fortunately, a good friend of mine and his wife were coming over because she's a photographer and she was gonna take some before pictures. So my buddy Ethan came. He's a cop, so I'm like way too nice. And I'm like, yeah, of course you can take all my landscape rocks. And he's like, get off our property, whatever. Anyways, we went and grabbed lunch and picked up my truck from the shop. And when we came back, she was screaming to the cops, and then they put her in the back of the car and are checking her in for a 72-hour mental health hold. So anyways, back to the gas line. Oh wait, no, this doesn't need to come off at all. Only needs to come out past here. All right, we'll see how this. Surprisingly easy. I'll cut it over here as well. I know, I literally felt it go through at first and I was like, no way it came out that easy. I'll just cut it like right here so we can get both pieces out. So that's perfect. Beautiful. Okay, so now that the gas line is removed from the fireplace, can remove the actual fireplace, which is also going to involve removing all this stone, which is going to be fun. But this is where the HGTV demo comes in, where we just go ham with the sledgehammer. I feel like if we can get behind this, I feel like we'll be able to.
You're getting the plaster behind it too, right?
Yeah. Man, it's really on there. Really hoping it wouldn't be. Burke bar would be perfect right about now.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping for. Oh yeah, baby. Beautiful. Let's see, Ethan, you wanna police kick this plywood out right here? Hey! There's the dump trailer access. Hallelujah. Oh, the whole thing's gonna go. That might be too much for the floor. If we can get it to land on this, we'll probably be okay. Scary.
I could yank it and we could be done with it, but I don't know what you want to do with it. It is a lot of weight.
Maybe let's smack with the sledge, see if we can get it to go in half, you know? Where's the seam? Oh, it's got the mesh. Forgot about the wire mesh. I think we just go for it. I think we try and pull as far as we can so it drops flat.
My top is already out. So I'm gonna pull and run.
Okay, ready? Not too bad.
Is the electrical off?
Yes.
Yeah, just.
Look, I got to keep some insulation.
Nice.
Sick.
This little 2-foot area. Watch out.
Beautiful. Now, what we're gonna do, we're pulling this stuff out. This is also Nathan. I don't think I introduced you to Nathan yet. He works with us as well. And the job site we had going on, they ran out of stuff to do. So I was like, hey, wanna come hang out with the tweakers and we can do some work? So anyways, we're going to pull this down and then we'll cut so we can put in our header to fully open up this wall. I'm gonna put in the header first before I do the demo, just to make sure it's all solid. And I'm not gonna demo out the main wall. I wanna demo it and then rebuild the whole thing in one day. So I'll probably try and do that tomorrow, so that way I can just get it all done and have plenty of time. Alrighty. Read my mind. Here, slide it out. Kind of like this. It's kind of nice that truss is there because it means I don't have to worry too much. Yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, let me see that. Yeah, I'm pretty tight on this end, so I'll probably nail this so it stays and then I'll work my way down. Can you pass me that sledge? I just conveniently left it right out of my reach. Hopefully I can beat this sucker in there. Yeah. Beautiful. Framing at least, so. So I'm gonna run some 1/2-inch spacers in this so that the header is 3.5 inches wide. Just kind of like you can, yeah, just we can just use whatever we pulled off the windows. Beautiful. All right. This one will probably be a little more tricky if I guess. Now I'm just hitting that plywood piece again. Yeah. Hallelujah. I got lags. Just need that. Just need the lag spinner. Shoot, I'll take the sledge it is, I guess. No, let me see that. Try one more right at the top. Absolutely. That is gonna be what it is. It sure does. That's one of the older model ones though. Only flush, baby. I'm just gonna board up this door, but from the inside, so that way I can take off if I need to. All right, I'm winding down on the end of day 2. We got the rest of the windows opened up downstairs. We got the gas line all capped off, so the gas is ready to get turned back on. And then I got prepped for my more major part of the project, at least the framing aspect, right behind me. So just to recap, we've got our header going in across the top. That is now supporting everything from the left side of this window to the right side of this window. That's all ready to go. So tomorrow, my plan is, first thing in the morning, rip all this out, get it in the dump trailer, which is right on the other side of that wall. And then I can frame brand new walls on the exterior there, up to the same height. Actually, I'll go a little bit lower than the header because I'm gonna do a little shed roof kind of thing. And then I'm throwing some ideas around, so I'll see what I do. So you can kind of picture this as the wall now. We got the stone out also, I forgot to mention that. But this is gonna go all the way to back there. We'll have the top there, but I think we're gonna make it to be like an arch that can kind of come through there. Just a shallow, not anything too crazy. I might just mock it up, throw some plywood up there with the cut out of it, so my wife can see it and see what she thinks. But I feel like that could be pretty cool. And then we'll do some built-in cabinets on the side and maybe get them painted a cool color. My wife had some cool ideas with that too, as far as some like wood accents and stuff like that. Tomorrow morning, I've got my work cut out for me. My goal is gonna be to get that whole thing demoed and reframed in one day, so I don't just have a giant gaping hole in the outside of my house. But we'll see how that goes. Anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching. Stick around if you want to see some more. And if you have any good ideas for this project, definitely let me know, because I'm kind of making this up on the fly, so I'll definitely be open to suggestions. Anyways, see you guys tomorrow.